Hello everyone, Spartan Steve here, bringing you a review on the Last Oasis. Last Oasis is an open-world survival massive multiplayer RPG. Developed by the Donkey crew, Last Oasis has had some bump in the roads since its early access release back in March of 2020. But what about now? Has the game improved? Let's jump in and find out. When Last Oasis loads, you'll have the option of Join Realm for the public servers and the community servers for player private servers. The customization is pretty straightforward. You'll have 4 presets for male or female, and you'll be able to change the eye color, hair. Not that many to select from, I'm sure that will grow as the game progresses, but you do have a limitation. When you're done, you'll be hit with a loading screen that we're absolutely going to skip when it says you're joining, and then another loading screen to load the map. You'll be put into the starting area if you are on the public server, where this is pretty much a PvE area, which teaches you the basics of the game.
You have spent your entire life rowing the flotilla, and now you...
That lovely voice you will be hearing throughout the tutorial, and the tutorial is done very well. It walks you through everything that you can do. You'll have a basic understanding to like an intermediate standpoint of the game that you'll be able to survive when you leave this area. The tutorial will set you up with your first walker. Make sure you build the legs though before getting in. I'm going to show you a few more walkers later, but you actually build each individual piece, making it pretty cool to customize them. These lovely specimens are the Rupu that try to kill you the entire time, and they are flooded all over the map. They drop items on how you're going to level. When you do level, you'll have the option to put it into health, stamina, damage, or mobility, and it makes a lovely noise as you click each one. The tech trees are broken up nicely. It could be a little overwhelming at first, but it's very easy to get used to, as you can see here. It'll show you the progressions that you do, and things will be locked so you're not overwhelmed with all these different things to look at, and will show you the prerequisites to get into that spot. This game definitely has some glitches, which we're going to get to more later. We are in a pre-alpha game per the top screen. You will be dealing with a lot of Rupu for the majority of this game. The combat system is very similar to Mount and Blade, that the direction that you swing your mouse in is where you're going to block or swing from. The map is broken up to the best it could be. If you have other walkers that are around the map, it will be linked on there. If you have a base with a bed on there, it will show that on the map. It will only show you that. Other players won't be able to see them. There can be locations on there that are unique and will be marked on there. When you get to the world map, this is where things get interesting. You need water to travel from one map to another, because each map decays. If you're not on one that happens, that's just going to move everything over to the nearest one. So pretty much water consumption, as you can see in the bottom left, is how you stay alive. There is no food consumption, just water. There is food in here, but the food consumption just generates water for you. If that does hit 0, you will lose health, and if you don't get there in time, you will die. You get a lovely grappling hook that brings a uniqueness into the game that you could pretty much go like everywhere. I immediately thought of Dying Light with the grappling hook. There are training stations that you could go to that in the PvP areas, this one is PvE for a period of time. As you can see, that's a 15-minute tick that's happening on the right side that they cannot hit you. Other players will annoy the living hell out of you if they're trying to kill you if you do go over here, but they cannot take your stuff if you go over here. The trade station will provide what the NPCs, quote-unquote, are providing, and other players can put stuff here as well. Other players, if they die, if they don't have a spawn point, I'm assuming they just show up here, that's why they're kneeling like this. The local blue wildlife is not your friend, so if you have a small walker and run into these lovelies, you are gonna get torn to pieces. Good luck! Throughout this review, you are going to see two different characters that I have. One is on a PvE server, this one here, and the PvP server as well. There is a wide selection of walkers that you can build. Each can provide you different benefits when you do build them. Some have more space on top rather, that you could put ballistas on top of them. Some have more space inside that you could put more loot in there. You're not really supposed to drive this one on top, but there's a wide selection of walkers, and that's where this game shines, in my opinion, on the amount of walkers that you can make, keep, and use. Each one providing you different benefits on the play style that you want to play in this game. An issue players that are having in survival games is that they get raided when they are offline. In Last Oasis, they do the transfer to lobby, where you put all your walkers to the lobby, you could transfer yourself into the lobby, and all your belongings that are on you and in the walkers cannot be touched by players or raided until you bring the walkers back into the world. If you build a base, it's going to get raided 110% by players that are going to do that. But everything else will be safely stored in the lobby. As you can see here, on the left side at the time of I was recording this, these are the 3 walkers that I had, and they're all there. If that decay that you see on the top that says 12 days hits 0, you don't lose your walkers that are in the lobby, they just get brought over to the next available area, which you could safely go back to and forth and go back with those walkers. This is perfect for a player like me that can't be on all the time. I understand certain PvPers don't like this, but for somebody like me that can't be on every single day, this works absolute wonders. Each map is broken up to easy, medium, or hard. Easy's the starter area, the PvE areas, and once when you leave, you could go to the medium or hard, and you could even go to different areas, quote-unquote, the world. Larger walkers typically carry a lot more water for you to travel even farther, but as you progress in the game, you are going to experience a whole lot of glitches. It's nothing too game-breaking in a sense, unless they're doing a massive update, they shut everything down, but a lot of this stuff sometimes doesn't work. Like right now, there's this awesome thing that you could put on your walkers that if you shoot your grappling hook, you'll shoot right to it. And this happened to me a couple days before recording this. Definitely, these little things happen pretty often. You could get stuck in areas like here. Like I had a respawn. There's a respawn option that you could do. And the NPCs sometimes get stuck if you do a certain attack, so I'm just holding down the left side there, and that Rupu will not move until I swing, and the other one to the right is just going to run into that pole for an infinite amount of time. I don't know how to explain this one. Yeah. This was the only time this actually happened, but it is in an early alpha stage, and even running into players, you could even see them running into it. You could see that player vibrating while on that walker. The player experience, it's give or take. Some players just want to see, like, hey, how's it going? Like that guy did eventually. But there are some players that, unfortunately, I didn't record the one, but I started off day in and got beat up by a pipe, pretty much. Players do have bases all around the world. I highly recommend, if you want nothing to do with other players and you're going to do this solo, do not go in there. But you'll definitely see a lot of the creations people have to make all throughout the world. My last experience online, this guy, like I was transferring out, I was waiting to end, and this guy jumped on here and I helped him get saved from the blue horrifying tiger, and he dropped a hammer on my walker so I could repair my walker. Lovely experience. But this game provides so many different areas. I could go on for another 20 minutes to explain this game and the things that you could run into, like even dragons that you see here. There is a lot to offer in here. We're in the early access stage of this game. It has a lot of potential right now, even with early access, and then when they fix those little bugs, this game is absolutely perfect. Wait for a deal. But I hope this review helped you determine if this game is worth buying for you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.